In this video, we are going to draw this plastic bottle in Solidworks. So the first thing you're going to do is open up this startup file from Canvas. And then we are going to select Sketch 1, and then in the Features tab, click Revolved Boss Base. And we're going to keep all of these settings the same because it automatically chose line 1 for the sketch. So we're going to revolve this sketch about this line 1 center line and click check. The next step is to add fillets to the bottle. So we're going to go to the Features tab, Fillet Command. And for items to fillet, we're going to select this edge. Make sure you select the edge, and then this edge right here. And the parameter is going to be 0.5 inches. And then click OK. Awesome. The next thing we are going to do is create these uppercuts, the divots at the top here. And so we're going to select Sketch 2 and use a revolved cut. For the axis of revolution, we're going to use this center line right here. And for the extrude option or extrude cut option, we're going to use mid-plane with a 360-degree revolve angle. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to use mid-plane, we're going to use blind. Okay, we're going to use blind with an angle of 360 degrees. And then click OK. Great. And then the next step is to create the lower cut down here. And so we are going to select Sketch 3 this time and click Revolved Cut. This time we're going to use the mid-plane. And for the direction, we are going to use 40 degrees. Right? So you can see that the revolved cut's going to start in the center here from where our line 1 is. And then it's going to revolve equally on both sides by a total of 40 degrees. Then we're going to click check. And now we have the lower cuts. Now, before we add our fillets, we're going to expand these features and hide these sketches because we no longer need them. So just click on the sketches and click the eye with the slash through it to hide the sketch. All right. Then I'm going to hit Control-7 on my keyboard to make this in a normal view. Now I can go ahead and add fillets. So click the fillet command. And for items to fillet, we are going to rotate. So click that edge, this edge right here. And then for the first fillet, make sure to select the inside edges of the lower cut. All right. And for the fillet parameter, we're going to use 0.062. And then click OK. Now we're going to add fillets to these outer edges right there. So click the fillet command. Then items to fillet, we want to fillet these outer edges right here. It selected everything already because they're tangent to one another, but I just selected both edges because that's what it says in the book. So for the actual parameter, we are going to add 0.125 as our fillet radius size, and then click OK. Right. Now we're going to add a circular pattern, which is going to create this uppercut and lower cut all the way around our plastic bottle. So in the Features tab, click the arrow under Linear Pattern, and then click Circular Pattern. For the direction, we're going to click this edge here, okay, because we just want it to, our circular pattern to revolve in this circular shape. We want to have equal spacing, and the number of items, make sure that this says, or instances, make sure that says 6. Make sure to click this first box right here, because this is going to be the features. Don't click this bottom one because that's faces to pattern. So we're going to expand our feature manager tree, and we're going to click the last 4 features, which are the 2 cuts and the fillets on those cuts, and then click OK. Awesome. Now we're going to add a shell command so that the inside of this bottle is hollow and we can actually add liquid to the bottle. So to do that, we are going to click shell right here in the features tab. And for our first parameter, it's going to be 0.025. And the face we're going to select, so you always want to click the face you want to remove. We're going to click this upper face because that's where the liquid goes in, and we want to remove that face, and we'll hollow out through this face. And then we are going to, let's see here, we have that face one. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this. No, delete. All right. So we have that face one, then we want to add a multi-thickness setting. So click in this pink box here and select this outer face right here. And we're going to have a parameter of 0.05. And what that's going to do is it's going to only have this section up here have a wall thickness of 0.05, and the rest of the thickness is going to be 0.025. Then we're going to click the check, and we're going to make sure that was done correctly. So in the heads up toolbar, click the section view. It automatically selected the front plane. I'm going to rotate. And you can see how this part up here is thicker than the rest of the plastic shell. So we know that this worked correctly, and only this part has the 0.05 inches and the rest has 0.025. And then we're going to click, check. That's going to keep our our section view, but we don't want this section view anymore. So we're going to click it again. So there's no longer a section view. The last step is going to be adding this thread at the top of our plastic bottle. So we're just going to review this really quickly before we get started. The first step we're going to do is create this plane. And the plane is going to allow us to create this helix. So in order to create the helix, we need to create a sketch circle. And so we're going to start the helix here and add parameters so that the helix spirals up to here. And then after we have this helix, we are going to create a sketch. And so for the sweep command, we need a profile and a path. So this sketch right here is going to be our profile, okay, that we want to sweep around this spiral, okay, and that will create this body right here, right? And we're just going to close off the end caps with these last 2 revolves. So let's do that. If I go back to my model, I'm going to first create a plane from this top face right here, or planar surface. So we're going to go to reference geometry, click plane. We're going to click this top face. And for the distance, make sure that this is 0.4, okay? You can see that the plane is above my plastic bottle, so I want to click flip offset so that it's in the right spot, and then click OK. Then I want to click the plane and click sketch. And so you can sketch a circle here, or I can use an existing edge to create my sketch for me, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to click this outer edge of the bottle. I'm going to hit Control. Oh, sorry. I hit Control 8 because I want it to be normal to this view. But I'm going to hit this outer edge here and then click Convert Entities. All right. And so you can see that what happened was it converted this edge into a sketch on our plane that we just created. So now I'm going to go to the Features tab and click Curves, Helix Spiral. I want to use the constant pitch option with 0.125 inches as my pitch. The revolutions is going to be 2.5 revolutions, and the start angle is going to be 0 degrees. In the book, it says clockwise. However, if you look at the image, it is counterclockwise, and that's how bottles work too. If you have a water bottle near you, you can see that it actually is in the counterclockwise direction. So I'm going to select counterclockwise, even though the book says clockwise. And then I'm going to hit check. Right. And so now we have the path for our sweep, but we need a sketch to actually sweep around this path. So we're going to create that. We're going to click the right plane and then new sketch on there. Over here, I'm going to zoom in to the right side of my bottle. I'm going to click the line command, and I'm just going to rough sketch a half or a triangle. Escape to deselect my items. And then I'm going to click on this bottom line, and I'm going to go over here and click for construction. And that will make this, we can use this as, a center line. Next, I'm going to go to mirror entities. And for my entities to mirror, I want to mirror these two lines, and I want to mirror about this line right there, and then click check. Right. So now these are symmetric about this center line here, and we can start adding dimensions. So click Smart Dimensions and click this angled line and this other angled line, and we want this to be 60 degrees. And then we want from here, this vertical line to this point to be 0.05, enter. All right. And the next step is to click the fillet command, and we want our fillet parameter to be 0.005, so a radius of 0.005. Oh, and then entities to fillet, I need to click on this point right here so it fillets that corner, and click check. All right, and I'm going to click check again so it exits out of the command. We can see that, I'm going to move this dimension out there. We can see that this profile is still underdefined from our status bar. And that's because if you click your profile and move it, you can move it all around. And that's why it's underdefined. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold Control on our keyboard, click this center point of the line, or the end point of this center line, and then hold Control and click the helix. Okay, so it's selected, or you can click once it's orange because you're hovering over it. So I have both of those selected now. All right, and let's see here. What I'm going to add is a pierce relation. And so, oh, hold on one second. I'm going to do clear selection and do that. I'm going to Control Z. Okay, I think I selected the wrong thing. But what the pierce relation is going to do is it's going to snap or move this point right here to the closest end of this helix. Okay, so if I look at this helix, I would hope the closest point is right there. All right, So I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to hold Control, click the endpoint of that center line, and then click this helix and click pierce. And you can see that this sketch is now attached to this helix. And so when we use the sweep command, these profiles need to be touching there. Click check, then exit sketch. Now I can use the sweep command and sweep this profile around this path. So go to the swept boss base. If you hover over, the first item is the profile, and that's going to be this sketch here. So just click any line in the sketch, and the path is going to be the helix. And you can see that's what created our thread shape. And then click check. Right. Then I'm just going to hide the helix. So click the helix and click hide. I'm also going to click the plane and hit hide as well. Okay, and Control-7 on my keyboard to make this an isometric view. And the last step is to close the ends of this, and we're just going to use a revolve for that. So we're just going to click the end face of the sweep that we just did and click sketch. All right. And then Control-8 if yours didn't come to normal view. If yours is not blue, click this again. If it is blue, just move forward. The first thing we're going to do is just click Convert Entities. And you can add a center line if you want. It's not necessary because we can just use this line to revolve. We're going to use this as our line of axis of revolution, and it'll just revolve this all the way to this face here. So we're going to go to the Features tab, and we're going to click Revolved Boss Base. The axis of revolution is going to be this line right here. And you can see right now it's 360. So it's gonna, if I rotate inside, it's gonna revolve, inside here. We don't want that piece of material there. So we're gonna change the angle to 100 degrees. And now it's not going to revolve inside there. And then we're going to click check. Then just do this on the other side. So click this face on the other side, new sketch. Make sure that's selected and click Convert Entities. And then go to the Features tab. We're going to do the Revolved Boss Base again. Axis of revolution is going to be this line, and the degrees is going to be 100 degrees. All right, and then check, Control-7, and your bottle is now complete. So just make sure to save this and submit in Canvas.